So start off by telling us a little about yourself and your background and your career journey.
Yes, absolutely. So, I've been around Silicon Valley since the late 90s. Actually, I fell in love with the Valley when I was an undergrad at Stanford in mid 90s. And the environment, the entrepreneurial spirit, the innovative spirit was all that just captured my imagination. I did my hand at trying to code and take a couple of programming courses because of that. And I just realized that my brain is not wired to be a coder. So I did the next best thing. I majored in philosophy and economics. And then I went to law school with the hope and aspiration that I would come back and represent technology startups. And that's what I did. I came back in the late 90s, worked at Wilson Sonsini, one of the premier law firms representing founders from formation all the way to IPOs and M&A. And that was a bit of a baptism by fire. So it was late 90s. We were doing IPOs, one IPO a week, a couple of M&A deals a week. In fact, the first week as a lowly associate, I was staffed on like 5 major acquisitions. So I got a bit of a burnout and realized that I actually wanted to be much closer to the technology and innovation than to be on the legal side, which is a step removed from the real action. So I tried to figure out a way to get out of the legal profession. I networked with the alumni network of Stanford, and luckily I got a position at a venture capital firm, a European venture capital firm that wanted to open an office here in Palo Alto. So that was my first shot at being on the business side. Kind of got a front row seat to reviewing a lot of business plans, seeing how boards of startups actually worked, and how entrepreneurs kind of created this ecosystem of relationships around themselves to kind of grow their business. And that was really eye-opening. I like to say I got an MBA on the job. And, at some point, eventually, I summoned up the courage to start my own company. So that was Jackster in 2005, which was a mobile social network and communication startup. We had a crazy wild run. Unfortunately, we hit the 2008-2009 downturn. We made a couple of key strategic mistakes, and we paid for those mistakes. I tried not to repeat those mistakes with my next startups and got radically different results. So I've done a few startups now. I've sold all of them. I also went to the acquirer side because I didn't have that experience, and I wanted to really see how are these deals done. And so I joined GoDaddy before the IPO and was with them for 7 years. I joined because of what I wanted to learn, and also because the mission really resonated with me, which was to tilt the global economy towards a small business. And I've always owned small businesses. My parents have owned small businesses. And it just sort of really resonated with me. But I stayed because of culture and because we had so much fun, and the team was phenomenal. Stayed there for 7 years, and then joined my good friend, with whom I had actually started a venture that we sold to Postmates, who had then run a startup within Postmates. Postmates, for those of your listeners that don't know, is a food delivery company competing with DoorDash and Uber Eats. And they had started a robotics division called Serve. And these are these cute robots that those of your listeners or viewers in LA may have seen them. They're very popular on social media. They deliver food on the sidewalks. They're autonomous robots. And I joined my friend Ali about 18 months ago to spin out Serve from within Postmates and Uber, who subsequently had acquired Postmates, and make it an independent company. And I'm the president and COO there for the past 18 months.